So this channel just reached 50,000 subscribers, and I'm pretty happy about that. And I think we should keep with tradition and make a sign to celebrate that. So this will be my 50,000 subscriber sign. I feel like this sign should be a little bit comical, a little bit silly. So I found this from an urn. It was wasted out at my mother's warehouse. So it's really nice wood, but it had like a bad finish or something like that, so they couldn't sell it. And so I'm thinking that would be a good back, a little good base to the sign. And since a lot of people tend to go with like really big things, like, oh, 50,000 must be bigger than the last one, I think it'd be funny and kind of silly to go really small. So I'll cut out like a postage stamp size piece of paper, like, I don't know, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters or whatever. We can hook that on there. I have a little sewing pin, so we can have a pin sticking in it. Of course, I'll chop that down to where it looks like there's a little pin in it. But then I have one of these pins that I got that is very, very tiny. So I can try to write in very tiny text on that little stamp. And so instead of being big, it would just be kind of tiny, like, oh, 50,000. I don't know, that's kind of an idea. Well, it all kind of centers around how I draw it. So let's try to draw the actual lettering and see what works. So I'm thinking about following my typewriter's font, which is kind of like that. That didn't work out too well. Plus, I want it smaller, so and it should have the decimal in the right place. I like that a lot. Now the question is, should I go subs or subscribers? I think it'd be nicer to have longer, so this one can be something like, that's okay. It's hard to write it at an angle because I have to be behind the camera, so let's change this. I think I'm happy with that. Looks kind of silly. I don't know. So we have 2,000, 4,000, which will one day probably fall off and chop my head off somehow. 6,000, 10,000, which is pretty lackluster, but as if these are anything big. These are just kind of thrown together by what I have on hand at the time. 15,000, oh, 8,000. Maybe I should reorganize those. I don't know. But yeah, 50,000. I kind of like that. That is so tiny. I think from now on I'm going to steer away from the active signs and go with the static signs, because like the 25,000 subscriber sign sure has some issues. Oh well. So I know that sign isn't exactly good. It's kind of shitty, but everything I make is shitty, so it's kind of par for the course. That's fine though. It's really the thought that counts. And having 50,000 subscribers, 50,000 viewers, that's really cool. You guys allow me to have this as my full-time job, at least for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I want to thank you very much for everything you've allowed me to do with this YouTube channel, and I hope you have a very wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.